Welcome back to Film Fetish. I'm your host CJ, and today we're basically going to do an episode about how I completely disagree with most things that my buddy Mark has to say. Now for those who don't know Mark, he's this lanky velociraptor looking motherfucker with a squeaky voice. And now the first film of the day is 2019's Doom Annihilation, the in-name only sequel to the 2005 film starring The Rock. Now this film I loved. It's very low budget, but they really put a lot of effort into the cinematography, the great practical effects, the surprising amount of good CG effects at the end of the film. Now the movie stars the beautiful musician turned actress Nina Bergman. This was the first movie I saw her in, and because of that, a few weeks later I happened to be at the store and found this wonderful little straight-to-DVD masterpiece, also starring her as a flamethrower-wielding badass. If you haven't seen this or Doom Annihilation, definitely check it out. Both are worth your while if you're really into low-budget B movies. Next up, we have the 2002 film Ghost Ship, brought to us by the director of the 13 Ghosts remake, and it really shows. From the aesthetically pleasing sets to the surprising amount of great CG effects on the ghosts and the makeup on the gore. And that's another thing in this movie. It's impressively gory for 2002. Now the film stars Carl Urban as part of a salvaging team who find this luxury cruise ship that disappeared in the 60s. And how they uncover that there's actually this grisly, demon courier who has a quota to fill. His quota being souls. It's very campy, it's a lot of fun, has a surprising amount of good actors. If you haven't seen this film, I definitely recommend it. Marc's a dick. Check it out. Next, we have Phantoms, the 1998 film based off the book by Dean Koontz. This movie is spectacular, body horror, alien monster, thing ripoff, whole 9 yards, running out of fingers, it's beautiful. Now I went back and rewatched it recently with Mark. It was his first time seeing it. And while it's definitely dated and a little campy, it is still a ton of fun. But what do you think, Mark? Next up we have Hardcore Henry, a 2015 cyberpunk Russian film. Now the entire movie's in first person, it's gory as balls, and I was super excited to watch it in theaters with my brother and my dad. Now you can imagine my surprise when I even got more excited to show my best friend Mark. And this is what he had to say about it. Last movie of the day, we have probably the most controversial movie to dislike. I'm of course talking about Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, 1988's spectacular sequel to the original classic by Clive Barker. Now the movie's even gorier, got not much of a bigger budget, but it's got better sets. It brought back Ashley Lawrence. It's just a spectacular film all the way around. And then there's Mark. So there was the list of movies that I love that Mark is wrong about. Any you missed? It's a weird way to put it since it's movies he didn't like. But you get my drift. If there's any list you'd like to see me do, leave those in the comments below. As usual, I'm your host CJ. This has been Film Fetish. And please remember, keep it lowbrow.